Good morning, grade 7 Dahlia. Who is assigned for today's prayer? Oh, I see. It's Miss Desana. Okay, you may now lead us the prayer, Miss Desana. So, thank you for that wonderful prayer. And again, class, good morning. And how are you all? Okay, it's good to hear that all are well. So, this time I am going to check your attendance. So, raise your hands if your name is called and if you are present, of course. Okay, so most of you are present, only 2 are absent. And now that we have already discussed what is an essay yesterday, right, class? Okay. Now, I want you to recap our discussion yesterday. So, who can recap? Can you give us the summary of our discussion yesterday? So, I believe that all of you have already understand the class. Okay? So, for today, you will be grouped. You're going to group into 5. And each member are going to share on their exciting and memorable time in their lives. And after you have shared with your group mates, you will pick one representative for your group, and that representative will share to the class on the most meaningful and inspiring experience that have shared in your group. Okay, I think all are already able to share with their group mates, right? So let's have your representatives now to share your the group's most meaningful and inspiring experience. Okay? Oh, thank you for sharing your experiences, class. Truly, it is an exciting and memorable ones, and I am lucky that I am able to hear those. So, from the activity you had, do you have any ideas on what are we going to tackle for today? Mr. Alipala, you're answering about types of essay. To start, I have prepared here a PowerPoint presentation. So here it is. So please read the definition of personal essay. So personal essay, from the word itself, personal. So as it is said in the definition, it is usually based on a personal experience, yes, and is written in a way of essay. But unlike with formal writings, personal essay doesn't have to prove anything, because you are sharing your own experiences, which with that experiences you had, it was able to give you lessons or to change on who you are in the past to become the better person you are in the present. So that's what a personal essay. And now, a personal essay has its elements that we are going to or we must consider when we are making a personal essay. So, please read the first element. Okay, so the first element is central theme. So central theme, it is the main point of the whole essay that you are sharing or you are writing into your personal essay. So, but we must make sure that the idea that we are putting into our paper is the universal, right? So it is said here so that everyone can relate to the writing we are conveying to our readers. So second element, please read. So the second element is the epiphany. So in epiphany, as said here, it is the point where we are able to realize, yes, we realize the aha moment. So it's like the aha, this is it. For example, you've thought for a long time that this is something, let's say, you are bad with this, yes, you don't like that subject, and then along the way, as you experience a lot of struggles, and as you have encountered many people, and then that have helped you to the subject, then you realize that, aha, mathematics is not actually difficult. For, let's say, for example, that subject is math. So third element, who can read? Okay. In writing, we should have applied that suspense effect in our readers, so that they will be wondering what would be the next scene, or what would be the next event in our essays, or that's why, so that they will continue to read our output until the end. So that's how important suspense is, so that there would be the thrilling in reading. So fourth element, so just like with fiction and personal essay, there is also a climax. So this is the point, as we have known, that the climax is the peak of, for example, the fiction is the peak of the story. So in personal essay, it is where the most important part of your essay contains. So it is, yeah. For example, so just like, for example, the mathematics that I have, about the subject mathematics that I have told you earlier. So you hate math, and then you suddenly realize that math is fun, and then at the climax, then you have given the opportunity to represent your school in MTAP. So it will be a very turning point part of your essay, because when the readers are going to read from the introduction, they would not expect that would happen, because in the first place, you hated the math subject. So what a plot twist. Fifth element, why is that self-honesty important in writing a personal essay? So personal honesty should be present in our personal essay. It is because we should be honest on what we are feeling, or what we really truly feel towards a subject, for that, or a topic or issue, so that the readers will be somewhat, let's say, they can relate, or they can have empathy with you. So, and then don't be afraid to share the things that, example, can be considered your weakness. So for example, so again, about this math subject, you hated math subject, you have low grades, that's it. So don't be afraid to share that in your personal essay. So it's that the process, how you learn and how it changed you. So yeah, and then sometimes we should also consider the confidentiality, or of something or another person that is involved in our personal essay. So the sixth element, please read. Okay, the sixth element is description. So from its root word describe. So description. In your personal essay, since it is in a form of writing, enable for your readers to imagine how your setting looks like, the figure of your characters. You should able to describe them well for your readers to have for them to be able to picture out what do you want them to see. For example, the setting you wanted them to convey. So, that scene, that setting, is in a forest. So you should really be creative in describing that place, and especially in characters. So if it is a masculine, yes, a brave person, so you really have to describe them well, so that your readers can be able to picture out what you are really wanting to convey to them. So the seventh element, please read. So in this element, so especially you yourself, because it's about your personal experiences that you are writing into a personal essay, especially yourself, you have to make sure that you have changed along the story, along the essay, you have, let's say for example, you have improved. Yes, if you were bad at this in the beginning, then there should be a plot twist or something, the improvement or development of your character, and of course also the other characters in your essay. So the last element, finally, you can read. Okay, the last element is about the chronological organization. So the last element is the chronological organization. So organization of how you place the series of events in your personal essay. So chronological, it is step by step. So beginning, the middle, and up to the last. So that your readers will be able to follow your essay. So they will not get confused with the ideas or events that you have written. So that's all for our lesson. And do you understand it all? No further questions and clarifications? But before we are going to have our another activity, so I have here an example of personal essay. Yes, for you to really understand it more. So what does a personal essay looks like, or how the flow, or yes, how the flow, what is the flow of it, and to have initial ideas how you are going to make yours. So, okay, you have just read this example I've given you, a personal essay. So now, for our activity, you go back to your respective groups earlier, and then I will be giving you examples of specific parts of a written output, and then you are going to identify if it is an example of personal essay or not. Okay? Is it clear, class? Okay. Okay, class, so that's the end of our activity for this part. So I want you to give a round of applause for group 3 for they were able to have the perfect score 5/5. So that means that you have a plus points of 5. So now since that we have already discussed what talks about personal essay along with its elements, so let me ask you about a recap or a summary of our discussion for today. Generalizations. Yes. What have you understand? Yes. What have you realized? Thank you very much, class. So I am glad that since you really have understand our discussion for today. And now for your individual performance. So this is it to really evaluate if you have really understood our lesson. So you are going to So for your individual performances, you are going to make your own personal essays applying its elements. So you may be able to involve in your writing about your culture and beliefs. And for the rubrics, so here's a rubrics for your writing, and I will give you 20 minutes for that. Is that enough? Okay. Okay, class, so it's time. So, and I believe that everyone are already done. Am I right? Okay, so that's good. You are just on time. So pass your papers, and I am going to check this one, and I am going to announce your scores tomorrow for our next meeting. And for your assignment, you're going to read the personal essay entitled Love of Writing in your book, page 124. Yes, and what you're going to do after reading that essay, you are going to identify the elements of personal essays if they are present on that particular essay, and then you have to justify it. Let's say, for example, why did you say that epiphany is present in that essay? So what part that shows epiphany there? Okay, so that's it. And again, thank you for your cooperation, class, and an excellent performance for today. So goodbye and thank you.